Hey guys, welcome back. Um, I've gained a small amount of subscribers in the last week or so. Um, so this video, I'm going to focus on our farm. I'm just going to talk about kind of who owns what and how everything works around here. So to start off with, my name is Devin. I farm with my parents in south central Wisconsin. Um, we have boar goats, dairy steers, Hereford beef cows, corn, soybeans, wheat. We're slowly adding hay acres, um, custom baling, as well as we bale bedding, uh, corn stalks, soybean straw, and we also work with the DNR and cut like CRP properties, basically just to clean them up. And that's basically our operation. So to start off with, um, I'll just kind of go through an order of how they all came. So my family used to milk um, back up until 2009. Um, the milk price had dropped then. I don't know any of the details. I was only 9 years old at the time. Milk price had dropped and things were plenty tough around here as it was. So we had sold the cows in 2009 and began raising dairy steers. My dad buys them at feeders, 400 pounds, and we raise them up to finish. So to start off with, all the steers on the farm, with the exception of anything from the beef cows, any of the steers that come from the beef cows. So the Hereford beef cows are mine. They I own them. Basically anything that gets sold from them is mine. The dairy steers are dad's. Um, I got a little mixed up there. So if my Hereford beef cattle would have a steer or heifer, most of the time we will throw them in with the steers, just because we don't have other areas to place them. The steer, I currently have one steer in with my dad's cattle, um, and he will stay there until he's finished and be sold. So the steers are dad's. The cows, Hereford beef cattle, are mine. Um, so post milking, we were doing steers. Um, 2010, then I purchased 4 boar goats. Uh, if anybody doesn't know, there is meat breed goats and dairy breed goats. The boar goats are the meat breed, and um, those are mine. All we have approximately, I think we're at about 50 right now, and all of those are mine. Um, that's my enterprise on that part. I started with 4, and here we are today. Um, Out of those 50, I believe there's about 30 of them that are bred or were bred. Um, so it won't take long, and we will have a large herd again. Um, so I purchased those in 2010. And at that time, we were raising corn and soybeans. Wheat was kind of off and on. We've added that to a more steady. We're actually slowly increasing the wheat acres these past couple years. Um, Corn and soybeans. So basically, we would use whatever corn we needed to feed dead steers. and the rest would then be sold, sent to the co-op, the local co-op. The soybeans were all sold. We had a small amount of hay, mainly for the goats. Actually, all of it was pretty much for the goats. I don't know what we had, 7, 8 acres at the time. And that was all little baled. So yeah, we were the cattle, the goats, the crops, up until about, let's see now, 2017, 2018, is when the custom baling, part of it had come about. I was a senior in high school and was contacted by some guys that we knew. They always had done ours. We always made corn stalks in the spring for our bedding needs. We always made, I don't know what we made, a couple hundred. They had always done ours for years, a couple years. And they had decided they wanted to get out. So next thing you know, I'm the owner of a custom farming business. I'm going to talk completely about that in a separate video. I kind of have an idea. I want to talk about the steps of how I got where I am and how I got started and whatnot. So the custom baling business. Theoretically, it's my business. Legally on paper, it's a partnership between me and Dad. Now, when I say that, I said before I was only 18 at the time, and I needed to get my hands on a large amount of money and to buy the baler. We needed a hay mower. We needed, a few things just to get us started, and I needed to take out a loan, a large loan, and in order to do that, we had to put Dad's name on at least half of the paperwork. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I don't mind it. Basically, he does half the work, or I shouldn't say half the work. I do most of the work, but when I need help, he's there. Didn't quite use him as much last year as we did this year. We've kind of switched gears a little bit with that. So I guess you could say that's kind of our business. Eventually, he'll probably get bought out for little to, we'll decide that. The other thing is about half of the equipment being used, not quite half. I'm going to talk about that as well, on the equipment and who owns what, I guess. Some of the equipment that's being used is owned by my parents. It's just we had it. It didn't really make sense to throw it around. Starting this last spring, we picked up approximately 65 acres of that we're renting. And it was decided I almost think after we planted it that I was gonna be, or I was gonna run half of that property. Um, Basically, I'm paying seed and fertilizer. I'm paying all the inputs and receiving the check at the end of the year. Um, and so that'll be my first 30 acres. Um, I could see in the next coming years me possibly purchasing land um, from my parents. I believe we're kind of talking about that because my parents are actually still paying off my grandpa. He gets a check. I think it's once a month. Um, and yeah, we're kind of talking about me possibly um, purchasing land, probably at a slow rate. Um, Still in the talks though. I don't know what we're gonna do yet. Um, so yeah, that's basically um, our operation. Who kind of owns what? Um, my plans for future videos, I want to go through and talk about the custom business, um, kind of the history on that. There isn't a lot. We've only been going for, this will be our second, at the end of this year will be our second year. Spring will be our third year. Um, and what we've learned a lot. A lot of things have changed. Um, we're kind of gearing towards other items, uh, such as the DNR properties, and making more bedding for other local farmers that aren't getting theirs made or don't make any at all. Um, and yeah, it's a family farm, and it's going to stay that way. I'll take it over eventually. Um, take it over completely. So pretty much everything I listed there will probably be mine. Um, as for the goats and the custom business, eventually I would like to possibly um, I don't want to say sell it or um, basically have my kids take over um, and things could change. Might possibly get out of the custom business. It all depends on how things go and how we want to do stuff. Um, but yeah, so hope you kind of found this interesting. Um, like I said, I want to talk about the custom business, the history of that. I'd also like to start do an equipment video, just go through and show you pretty well everything that's on the farm. Um, I'll have to do that at some point, and who owns what there as well. Um, we are in the works of possibly getting something, um, possibly picking up some land here. It's all in the talk yet. We don't know exactly what's going on. It's not really us doing anything. It's um, the people that were running the land that are running the land that are looking to get out, possibly get out. They're still trying to decide. Um, I don't want to say get out, downsize a little bit. Um, and they're really really good people, and for what they're talking about, I definitely see it. Um, so we're kind of working with them, and if they do decide to get or let go of some land that they're kind of trying to send it our way, which I would be so grateful for. Um, for our smaller operation, it's so hard for us to pick up land in this area. There's so many big farmers that some of them are willing to go above and beyond and just to get land. Whether they're making a profit or not, I don't know, but it just it's aggravating for us because we don't want to get big, but we just want a little bit more just to hopefully diversify a little bit. More wheat, more hay. Um, right now, the land we're renting it's tough. It's hard to run. Um, these past couple years that we ran it, it's been wetter years, and that soil up there holds moisture, and it's hard to work. It's hard to plant. It's hard to combine. Um, and if we could possibly get something closer to us that's similar to our ground, we'd probably maybe let that stuff go. Um, the one property doesn't sound like it's gonna be farmland for forever, so we don't know. You know, he might eventually want to sell, and I can't blame him. He's gonna make a mint on it. But the other piece is just tough ground. We've only ran it a year. Um, and it's been some pretty nasty years, so maybe next year we'll have hopefully a better spring, if anything. Um, that it'll be easy enough to plant it and we can just combine it and not have to worry about a thing. Who knows? I guess it all depends on the weather, and whether this is the new normal or not. We don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna let you go. I've talked way too long. I probably lost most of you by now. Um, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you did stay till the end, I appreciate it. I hope you found this interesting. And thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you next time.